Hi, thank you for joining me. This is the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. This is the March 24th Chakras Ascension reading. Happy birthday, solar return to anyone that came into our world today, whatever year that was. We are doing a 17 card spread. In the picture you'll see a central column of cards. Those represent the root to crown chakra, and on the left hand side are the earth associated chakras, and on the right hand side we have the divine or higher heavenly associated chakras that will be combining. Such then is the ascension process there into our more familiar chakras. So they sort of elevate and refine the energy that we're familiar with for those usual chakras. Let's start with the root chakra, and for that card we have the message flow. Our question for this chakra is, let me get attuned here to it. How can I feel supported, connected, and safe in my body to know that I am grounded in pure spirit? So flow, once again, is the message for that. Riches flow into my life in many ways and from many directions. From the earth heart chakra, which will be supporting the root chakra, we are using the Mother Mary Oracle to further refine this message. And we have Our Lady of Passion. You might believe yourself to be a very passionate person with a clear purpose in life, or you might worry that you are disconnected from a true sense of passion, unaware of what your particular passion might be. Either way, within your heart there is a seed of true, divine, passionate purpose. And this oracle comes as a message that even if you think you know what your purpose is, there is a deeper awakening about to take place for you. Your purpose is more than a job. It is your way of being, living, and giving on this planet. It is the reason you are here on this planet, to fulfill your destiny in service to the great divine plan of love. If you have the divine on your side, you have the divine on your side, is there any greater support and assurance of success needed? Your purpose is to become what you are. That is why no one can steal your purpose or live your life for you. Each of us needs to find our own way home to our heart and to liberate our passion to live our particular life path to the fullest, no matter whether our life path seems very spiritual or very ordinary, or more than likely a bit of both at times. Within every human heart there is a divine passion growing and awaiting liberation. The uniqueness of being a divinely awakening human is to have the purity of spiritual light dwelling in your most passionately aroused heart, to desire, to give, to create, to connect, to express, to heal, to feel, alive, to thrive. These desires come from a place within our heart that grows stronger as we mature spiritually. As the light within us grows, we cannot help but search for that which inspires us, that brings some kind of meaning and connection to our lives. Eventually, as our growth reaches a certain point, we want to help others thrive too, to build a world with hope, consciousness, and compassion for all living creatures. Once you have connected with the passion of your heart, to live that passion becomes as natural and essential and unquestionable as breathing. If you have a sense of what your passion is already, this oracle brings you a message that through the blessings and grace of the Holy Mother, it is now flowering into physical manifestation more quickly and substantially than ever before. Keep the faith, pray for her assistance, and know that you are on the right track. Even if there are subtle adjustments along the way, perhaps other strings added to your bow, Your sense of where you are headed is correct and will unfold naturally, just as the rose blossoms into fragrant fullness when ready. The next chakra will be the sacral. Our question for it is, how can I be empowered to take creative risks in the world within the realization that I am the divine feminine? We drew the Tracy Emin card. Some themes associated with this are: don't hide your dirty sheets in the washer. Concentrate on finding, not losing, yourself and your art. Decay can be a fertilizer for new ideas. Like a good friend rolled in garbage, the work of Tracy Emin, British rep at the 2007 Venice Biennale, is both intimate and a potential biohazard. In Everyone I've Ever Slept With, 1963 to 95, the viewer is welcomed into a small camping tent in which Emin delivers on the title with those bedmates' names appliqued to the interior walls. Her acclaimed and contested My Bed consists of Emin's mattress after a depressive episode, topped with stained sheets, stained panties, contraceptives, empty bottles, cigarette butts, and the emotional compost that fertilized this mess. Emin's personal and confessional works are not only self-portraits, but reflections of societal taboos. In support of this card, from the Whale Matrix chakra, we are using the Myths and Mermaids card for the energy. And we have Tale of Mossy Gold. A red-headed mermaid blushes with chagrin as she exhibits her tail. Once a shiny gold, the tail is now tinged with green swamp moss, visible evidence of personal neglect. You have been feeling run down lately, and with good reason, as you have not been listening to your body's natural cues. Now it is time to take care of yourself. Before things get any worse, remember the importance of sleep. Too often we think of sleep as an inconvenience or as an intrusion on our busy lives. Take the time to recognize it for what it really is, a wonderful natural way to restore the body, mind, and soul. Keep your body clean. You make a point of keeping the outside of your body clean through regular showers and hand washing. But how we treat the inside of our bodies is just as important. An emphasis on whole, natural foods can do wonders for your well-being, as can abstaining from dangerous chemicals and potentially harmful controlled substances. Finally, do not forget to exercise. Any amount of physical activity is better than none, and even a few extra steps per day can be beneficial to your health. The solar chakra is next. We are using the Earth Warriors Oracle for this position. Our question for it is, how can self-respect and self-compassion make me aware that I am the master of my universe? The card that we have today is the Turquoise Changing Woman. Change is upon you. It is essential for your continued growth, and you do not need to fear it. As you allow for this change, remain steadfast in your inner spiritual connection. This gives you courage, trust, peace, and reassurance, and you will find ways to navigate the shift so that your life improves through the process. If you are thinking of making a change, you are encouraged to do so without trying to force it. Be open and do your part to do the best of your ability. But also tune into your sense of divine timing. Ask the universe for help and allowing life to unfold according to its own rhythm of creative, loving intelligence. The turquoise moon goddess of the Navajo, knowing as changing woman, she is always changing and yet never dies. As she begins to age, she simply turns to walk to the east, the direction of the rising sun and beginnings. When she is renewed, her blessings are for nourishment, renewal of energy, and new beginnings. She brings hope and reminds us that life is constantly renewing around us and within us. We can always begin again in that spirit of renewal. In the face of loss or destruction, her presence brings comfort, hope, and peace, so that rather than losing faith and giving up because we feel defeated, we have the courage to continue to fight for what matters with refreshed reserves of energy and enthusiasm. She teaches us that it is safe to rest our unconditional faith in divine grace. We make our efforts as wholeheartedly as we can, but in the gap between what we can do and what needs to be accomplished for beauty, peace, and healing to happen on this planet, divine grace is there as the bridge, the catalyst, the miracle worker. Grace does not do the work for us, but it does empower our efforts and assist us in fulfilling our purpose in ways the mind can rarely anticipate. Grace is the invisible and empowering hand of Great Spirit reaching for us daily. Turquoise Moon Mother watches over us with a reminder that we are not in this alone and that the divine is our creative partner in all pursuits. We only need ask for help, to be given, to realize that it is already there, waiting for us to receive it. To support this chakra from the inner earth cities chakra, we are using the Crystal Grid Oracle. The card will be Fun, Orange Calcite. Orange calcite is such an uplifting stone, known to be beneficial in bringing light and laughter into your life. Are you in need of some fun? Have you been taking life too seriously, or do you feel like your emotions are like a roller coaster? Whenever we become very emotional and teary, or have a creative block, we should look to our sacral chakra. It is the water element chakra and therefore attached to emotions, which is energy and motion. It is also the chakra we associate with relationships with our partners, finance and sexuality for females, and is the seat of our creativity. So when there is imbalance in this area, we need to bring back our emotional balance. Orange calcite is a perfect stone to help you bring some balance, inspiration, and confidence back into your life. It will lift your mood and energize you, and may even bring some passion back into your life. If you are experiencing a creative block, it is related to a relationship issue you may be going through. Sometimes you don't need to pinpoint what the situation is, but you can recognize the signs of which chakra it is involved. You can use crystals accordingly. Remember, everything is energy, regardless of the situation that created the imbalance. Working at shifting the energy or restoring the energy, and you will notice results. If you are having relationship or sexual issues, you could try using art as your therapy, as it works with the same chakra. Meditating with this card or carrying orange calcite with you will also have the same effect. Be creative and wear something orange, or eat orange foods if that works for you. Bring orange into your aura. We will also be taking a card from the higher realms chakra, and we will be using the Blue Messiah deck. We have Rainbow Body for the card. The Rainbow Body plays a big role in the evolution of human consciousness. It is humanity's highest ideal to achieve this light body state. It is only through the vibrational expression of the rainbow body that you can enter the doorway to a new world of light. To achieve the rainbow body is to transcend your conscious limitations. These may be found in the energy centers within you, the chakras. Each energy center holds valuable lessons such as self-worth, trust, courage, and forgiveness. When these lessons are understood and embraced, you are able to move through the rite of passage, otherwise known as transitioning. Maintaining a constant frequency of unconditional love and compassion is key to activating your rainbow body. You can also elevate the vibrational radiance of your light body by eating natural, energizing foods that reflect the colors of the rainbow. It is these light-infused foods that will enhance and complement the energy centers within you. Dance with the wind of change and energize your body with your breath, dear soul. Charge your light with the energy particles from the sun and take steps to move away from all that distracts you from this final quantum leap of consciousness. Already you have achieved so much on this journey, and your light is radiant. Spirit honors your determination, courage, and willingness to grow. An affirmation from this Soul Star chakra is, I am consciously evolving as I nurture my rainbow body with colors of love. Our next position is the heart chakra, and our question is, how can I cultivate joy, gratitude, love, and compassion for others so that I am cosmic love? We are using the Rumi Oracle for this position. Our card for it is Blessings of Sarah. When we are hungry, we reach for what food is available. If we are starving, we may gorge upon what is before us, only to find ourselves overfed, undernourished, and in a most uncomfortable and dissatisfied state. Your soul needs better quality food. It has been detoxing. You have been shedding old thoughts, feelings, pains, and struggles. Memories of the past have been flooding out of your soul like parasites being expunged. And now your soul, thus cleansed, is in need of genuine nourishment to restore it to full radiance and vitality. Love will feed your hungry soul. Nothing less shall suffice. No sweet-talking charmer, hell-bent on seducing and moving on, will make the grade. No, it has to be nothing less than genuine romancing by the great beloved to feed, comfort, and nurse you into radiance. Only that divine finger, dipped in the heavenly honey, can be taken by your soul now. All else will seem as empty junk by comparison, but we can summon the strength to overcome habitual and mindless attempts at feeding on less substances. Oh yes, the great beloved shall storm through the kitchen and with military precision clear out all the cupboards, for only the best and the finest, most decadent and delicious shall do for you. If you have been unwell or struggling to let go of an issue, this oracle comes as a portent of imminent healing back to good health, and of release of the issue into resolution and divine radiance. It is only a matter of timing, and that timing is imminent. This oracle also brings you the message that if something appears to be leaving your life, even something painful to release, it is because it is no longer healthy for you, or no longer supporting of life for you. There is something more loving and beautiful awaiting. Do not try to feast upon scraps. Stop scraping at the dirt for stale breadcrumbs. rise and move towards the seat of the heavenly table gleaming before you, for a greater feast awaits your attendance. The Dolphin Matrix chakra will be supporting that message, and we are using the Kuan Yin oracle for it. We have drawn the Tao. Beloved, you are being invited into a more advanced spiritual classroom of the soul. Sometimes we think that more advanced means more effort, and yet in spiritual matters, as we mature, we become more able to stop attempting to control and direct from our more limited perspective, and instead become open to receiving and being directed by higher forces, which include our own divine essence, at one with the source of all. This does not mean that we become a loose leaf blown about by the winds of fate. It means, rather, that we become like bamboo, strong within ourselves and able to move in this direction or that without losing our power. In fact, our flexibility can become part of what makes us a powerful instrument of divine creativity and healing. But why should it be so easy, you might wonder? The challenge is not to try and force life to unfold according to our whims, but to grow in trust, wisdom, self-love, and self-worth, so that we become capable of surrender. The way is effortless, yet the journey to begin able to surrender into the way not always so effortless. We can make our molehills into mountains unintentionally, and so you are being asked to let go, to relax, and to allow life to do what it does, which is flow. Life, like the Tao, is more powerful than any apparent obstacle, and the Tao flows through all situations and presents natural solutions, no matter how unsolvable those situations may appear to be. It just needs to be allowed to do so. And from the Spirit chakra, to support this further, we have the card Vulnerability. This is a confirmation that you are seeking to tread into the unknown, unfamiliar territory, where decisions are based more on intuition than rationality. Don't let fear hold you back or allow a misguided sense that feeling vulnerable is somehow a negative condition. You selected this card so we could provide you with the confidence to step into that space where you might be feeling vulnerable. Once there, the divine wisdom of Spirit will help you find clarity and relax and open your mind to new opportunities. Strength often comes from being vulnerable, and as this is where you are able to identify and acknowledge your own limitations and find new ways of doing things you may not have considered before. Once you let go of the fear of vulnerability, which is one of the core obstacles of inner freedom, you will be able to embrace your authentic self and create a stronger connection with yourself as well as your friends and family. This is a truly liberating and healing process. Spirit is beckoning you to take the path to find freedom, but when you do, please accept that you won't automatically feel vulnerable. It will be your choice. We have next the throat chakra, and we are going to be using the Tao oracle for it. The card will be Keeping Still, and our question for it is, how can I articulate my honest truth to be a co-creator with God? In many traditions, a mountain symbolizes the stillness of Buddha nature. serene and detached, rising above the bustle of mundane affairs. It remains unaffected by the passage of time and the strife of the marketplace. A mountain setting often offers the perfect environment for meditation. When we simply sit, relax the body, and keep the spine upright, closing our eyes and shifting our attention from the outer to the inner, we are in tune with the stillness of mountains. From this centered place, it is possible to rise above the mind's busyness and gain a detached overview. It is like looking from the vantage point of a lofty peak into the valley of the mind, distant from its preoccupations, and thereby able to observe it with objectivity. Meditation is a point of rest and a process of renewal from the inside out. It means calling a halt to be driven by compulsion. For thousands of years, people all over the world have practiced meditation and have been renewed by its benefits. In the midst of everyday activities of the marketplace, there are times when you need to withdraw from thinking and rest into being. Without this periodic withdrawal, it is easy to become overly identified with one's position and place in the hubbub of worldly affairs and begin to call it me. Unfortunately, once you start to believe that life revolves only around serving the demands of this me, the real treasures of your being are lost. Me believes that life's meaning lies in doing, and if you follow the dictates of that belief, you're taking on a long and frustrating journey to achieve something that in the end only takes you away from your own truth. The central point of meditation is to observe whatever is bubbling up in the mind and let it go. When thoughts are happy or fascinating in some way, the tendency of the mind is to grasp hold of them or to adjust its version of reality to reinforce them. On the other hand, when thoughts are disturbing or painful, the mind works to get rid of them forcefully by suppressing them, or busies itself trying to assign blame to some external force. So whether your thoughts are happy or sad, the mind wants to engage them in some way, to work out strategies to direct them according to its own preferences. Meditation is a way of stepping out of the mind, putting aside preferential thinking that distracts you from living in accordance with the Tao. It is only from the inner mountaintop perspective that you can realize that the real treasure you seek has always been within your reach. Once you are back in touch with this essential treasure, then it is easy to withdraw from any difficulties that might have been overriding your attention. Meditation should not be a serious, hard-to-manage affair. Rather, it is a natural breathing and awakening as fresh as mountain air. The Earth Star chakra will be accompanying this. We're using the power deck and have drawn courage. Action takes courage. We often feel like fish out of water, separate and different from the world around us. But fish out of water can learn to swim in a new air of consciousness and with a new purpose in life. Perhaps it is identification with objects and clinging to addictions that keep you feeling separate from the source of your power. Perhaps it is not only a dependence on drugs, sex, or alcohol, but also addictions like the fear of failure, the need for approval, and the fear of desertion. Discover your own power and meaning by having the courage to give up your addictions and then live your power with courage. The universal chakra will also be giving some insight. We're using the Work Your Light Oracle for it. And we have the card Pleiades double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at a soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest, and so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. The third eye chakra is next. Representing it will be the sacred geometry cards. Octomotion will be the card, and our question for it is, how can I be focused, determined, and receive guidance to realize my full potential? Flow and flexibility. Octopuses are known for their ability to swim with fluidity and to conceal themselves as they crawl across the reef. If you are fortunate enough to see one, it is likely they are doing the dance of octomotion, demonstrating graceful, flexible movement. They can pull their arms into tightly coiled spirals or stretch them beyond what seems possible. The mantle can take on the spiky appearance of seaweed or the bumpy texture of coral. The octopus is the eight-legged master of motion and flexibility. Octagonal star geometry inlaid into this card enhances the power of 8 and speaks of resonance and periodic renewal. This card asks you to examine how ideas and events are moving toward the subject of your inquiry. Are you in resonance with the flow? Are you engaging the situation with optimism, suppleness, and flexibility? If so, this card applauds the sincerity of your intentions. Or do you feel the need to camouflage your ideas and emotions by adapting yourself to what you believe is expected of you? There are many ways to move through a situation. The path of least resistance and flow is generally the easiest. Remember, however, not to consent to rigidity in this situation or permit it to obscure your light. The worth of your voice will be made apparent as you recognize and honor your dedication to the integrity and express your personal truth. Renew your intent to be flexible in body, mind, and spirit while respecting the truth at your core. The galactic chakra will be assisting this message. For it, we are using the secret language of light, and we have enlightenment for the card. Evolution is guaranteed. You're waking up from your old habits and patterns. At times you may feel bewildered or not quite like yourself. Relax. All is well. You are just keeping up with your evolution and the life that you desire. Your body and mind are adjusting and adapting to your new and loving soul perspective. It is common for your mind or body to resist, react, or panic when you experience the unfamiliar or unknown. However, from this higher vantage, you can change any story that splits you in two and heal any wounds. You are not trying to replace a negative memory with a positive one. Instead, see all the components of a memory so that a new conclusion can form. An unbalanced memory recreates the trauma every time it is talked about or remembered. This event or person will be blamed for pain in your life today. A balanced memory has no charge or activation and becomes wisdom. You may even come to see a challenge as the best thing that ever happened to you. Once you change and heal your opinion, enlightenment will shine through as wisdom. And our last chakra will be the crown chakra. Our question for it is, how can I trust an inner guidance to be my true self? I affirm that all life is sacred. In ancient days, Egypt was called Kem, which translates to Black Earth, and refers to the fertile soil of the Nile River Valley. It is believed that both chemistry, the study of substances that form matter, and alchemy, the art of understanding the relationship between consciousness and matter, both find their roots in Kem's cradle of civilization. An alchemical understanding of the world lends itself to a vision of sacredness within all of life, with the idea that life itself is a byproduct of mind, with the understanding of mind being the soil of all that exists. Similarly, synchronous, the ancient Egyptian ethos placed the pinnacle of the personality as a force of nature's soul. From the one mind, alchemically symbolized as a circle, emerges the square of the four elements of earth, air, fire, and water. Surrounding the square, we then find the triangle of the three alchemical principles that govern the air of it all. Sulfur, which is the soul, consciousness, awareness. Mercury, which is the spirit, mind, and salt, which is the bodied, structured thought. The synthesis of symbols is what is referred to as a philosopher's stone, the elixir of life that unlocks immortality, the greatest gold, the magnum opus. The magnum opus is the great work of an artist, and when analyzing life with an idealized perspective, we can find the art within the natural world to be nothing short of sacred. Human beings have the potential to be the greatest pattern recognition machines, neural networks activated through experience, memory, imprinting, consciousness with coded language. Nature can be a great activator of enhanced perception and the embodiment of the force within the source of it all, the lattice of life, the effect of soul as the actuating cause. Once the pattern is understood and we find fluency in the language of consciousness and alchemical code, we can find the magnum opus materialized. Nature's potions and poisons are equally potent, but with the wisdom of an alchemist, even the most poisonous forms of life can be beneficial when the elements are properly manipulated into a medicine. The same is true when it comes to philosophy and the art of transforming worlds into golden wisdom. If the light is within you, the light of the world will come alive and reveal itself. If the spirit is refined, the soul will enter. If you embody the ideal of sacred life, the foundation of your reality becomes hallowed ground, and celestial consciousness can be seen and received infinitely as you appreciate and affirm the art of your unique expression within what is infinitely expressed from age to age, eternally. And our very last card to support that one will be representing the divine chakra, and it is the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. We have the card Rita of Cassia, the patroness of impossible causes. I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. Saint Rita of Cassia's life demonstrates the power of prayer to shift even what appears to be impossible. She was born Margherita Lotti in 1381 in Italy to noble parents. She is associated with bees because as a child it is said that they swarmed her but never stung her. And bees are symbolic of Mary and the diligent work that must be done to gather honey or the immortal sweetness of Christ's love. Despite popular belief, Saint Rita isn't about suffering or martyrdom. Not in this context. Here she is about the miracles that happen when we choose to be steadfast about something or someone. This does not mean remaining in a situation that is harmful to us. It means knowing that we can believe anything is possible and that everyone is ultimately forgivable. Because forgiveness isn't about someone else, it is about freeing ourselves. We might have to draw fierce boundaries and possibly never see this person again, but we can pray from any distance that a light larger than our own transforms them, that a love that's greater than what we alone can hold, can have for them, might offer them a new life. Saint Rita is asking us foremost to never give up on what we want for ourselves, and she is suggesting that a path to what we desire is in our belief that it is still possible. We might not know or when things will align for us, but we can participate in a deep prayer, a bone trust that at some point what we most desire will arrive. I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. Thank you for being here with me. Absolutely. Please join me on the next reading. I hope that you do. I hope you take great care and stay well. Many blessings. Hi, thank you for joining me. This is the Radiant Astro reading by the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. This is a 13-card spread. There's a central card representing our higher heart that we can evolve into, and this sort of combination of all of our chakras coming together and making us into a very highly sort of inner sun, radiant being. So we'll start with the central card, and then we will have, respectively, from Aries to Pisces, a wheel surrounding it that describes the highest energies of these cards coming into alignment with our higher heart. So the central card, we will be asking a question of it, and that question is, how can I silence my ego so my soul can shine? Something you love may be coming to an end, and it's only natural for you to be saddened. However, this ending also provides a new beginning. All unfolds for your highest good. Life is full of transformation, and with a new beginning comes a new chapter in the story that is you. Then for our Aries card, we have the Chinese Oracle deck. We are going to be asking, how can I begin things with self-awareness for protection of my physical body, as well as be conscious of my mask and projections of myself onto others? Today we drew the rooster. Only I can wake up the sun. Responsible, diligent, punctual, loving to be concerned, good at communication. With the crowning of the rooster, the sun rises slowly, and the golden morning glow spreads over the rooster and the fairy, which become their most gorgeous clothes. Every day they wait for this moment with full pride, as though it was their mission. Our next card will be for Taurus, and we have the boar from the Celtic Shaman's Oracle. Our question for it is, how do my values generate resourcefulness, self-esteem, and wealth? The general keyword for the boar is power. The pig in general and the boar in particular are powerful and always fearsome opponents in the Celtic tradition. They are, as a rule, magical beings and often oracular, possessing the ability to foretell the future. There is a strong tradition of the inexhaustible pig that is killed and eaten but returns to life the next day. The underlying theme is therefore of unending bounty, in this case of strength. Our next card will be for Gemini. We are using the Tantric Dakini Oracle. The card that we drew is Earthbound. And our question to it is, how does my mindset influence my interactions and define my comfort zone? Earthbound bears the number 21, signifying development from the world upward through the subtle centers to the stage of fulfillment in life. This card relates to the world of the traditional tarot. The surface of the earth viewed from space lies below. Above the horizon, the orb of a new earth is seen as if suspended in the darkness of the night. This symbolizes the beginning inherent in every completed cycle. As we step out of one situation, beyond our roots, suggested by the surface of the earth, the next moment manifests itself in the completeness of the new perspective. By our nature, we are destined to return to the earth until the completion of the cycles of incarnation. Realization of the underlying meaning of earthly existence, the completion of a cycle. Responsibility understood in its broader aspect as humanitarianism. Action as the result of choice and free will, liberation from the bondage of a habit, change in viewpoint, could indicate a change in residence. Parallel universes, and the concept of new things emerging from the old. This card relates to karma and should be meditated upon with this in mind. Single-mindedness, particularly with regard to worldly things. The location of this card in the chart can translate into many variations on the previous statements. Our next card will be for Cancer. We're using the Prophet deck. And our question for it is, how can I implement self-care to nurture my feminine energy and emotions, as well as bring awareness to my subconscious programmed by my ancestry? We have the card, like the ocean is your God self, it remains forever undefiled. Oftentimes have I heard you speak of one who commits a wrong, as though he were not one of you, but a stranger unto you, and an intruder upon your world. But I say that even as the holy and the righteous cannot rise beyond the highest, which is in each one of them, so the wicked and the weak cannot fall lower than the lowest, which is also in you. And as a single leaf turns not yellow, but with the silent knowledge of a whole tree, so the wrongdoer cannot do wrong without the hidden will of you all. Our next card will be for the position of Leo. It is from an Egyptian oracle deck, and our question for it will be, how can I enact play, self-expression, desires of my inner child, creativity, joy, risk-taking, and pleasure in my daily life? We drew Nekbet, Mother Mutt, alchemist, wisdom keeper, grandmother. She is the most revered and ancient grande dame of Egypt. She is the wise old crone and honored elder of the pantheon of Neteru, and comes to us in this work as a blend of the two vulture goddesses, Mut and Nekabet. As with all Neteru, she must be approached with respect if you wish to gain permission to enter into these sacred mysteries. It's unwise to trifle with this goddess, for she is a disciplined taskmaster who assists the initiate in making the decision to engage fully with this process of transformation. Once you've committed to moving forward, her loving, watchful eye is always upon you to ensure safe passage through the portals of shamanic initiation that must be crossed during all transitions in life. Nekabet Mother Mut is the wise magician crone, the alchemist, who weaves and blends the ingredients required to prepare the way for you, so that you can be informed. A strong guide and protector, she is also the one who holds the key to your DNA, memory of how to enter the mysteries. If you've pulled this card, you are being alchemically activated by the sacred elders, the wisdom keepers, so that you can begin to remember as you embark on a journey to reclaim your true self. Also in the external world, a grandmother or some other elder or teacher may show up in your life to guide you. This could come in the form of a two-legged or human. Or it could be a tree of an old-growth forest, or one of the stone people, or an animal totem. They are all our elder brothers and sisters. Honor your guides with all your heart. The next card will be for the Virgo position from the Enchanted Spell Oracle. Our question for it is, how can I give to myself and others for significant improvement? And today we have wishes. Wishes come true, travel, wonder, apple blossom. It is said that apple blossom heralds the sweet smell of success. On a symbolic level, apple blossom is associated with generosity, gratitude, and giving thanks for all of the good things we enjoy in life. In fact, eating green apples conveys energy to the solar plexus, the chakra responsible for confidence and personal success. Once upon a time, carrying apple blossoms around in a small pouch was thought to attract true love, and apples are said to be the magical unicorn's favorite fruit. The priestess of wishes is sitting in a cross-legged contentment, enjoying life's bounty. She sits beneath two apple boughs that have burst into blossom, and is flanked either side by medieval charms for the rapid achievement of wishes. Above her sits a magical city, an exotic destination full of surprise and wonder. The Latin words votum venenum, which means wish potion, are featured. This priestess knows that with a good heart and some determination, wishes really can come true. This is the Wish Upon a Star card. It is a very positive sign that it is time to make a heartfelt wish, and chances are it's going to come true. The symbol of this card is the apple blossom. Apples have been used in magical spells for centuries. The next card for the Libra position is from the Goddess Power Oracle, and we have the card Maya, Illusion. Our question is, how can I practice equality and sharing to forge alliances and resolve interpersonal conflicts. When you look at the world, everything you see appears to be real. So it's easy to imagine that your current conditions are influenced only by obvious actions and calculated movements. This is an illusion, as everything is intrinsically connected, though not visible to us due to the limitations imposed on our perception by our five senses. The Hindu goddess of illusion, Maya, calls you to trust that the invisible world is responding to your deepest desires and intentions to make a better life for yourself and others. You are able to see through the curtain of illusions. Your clarity and intuition is heightened as your next steps are sure-footed. When the goddess Maya chooses to help you, trust that everything you need arises from your world with ease. And then we proceed to the Scorpio position, which we will be using the Mystical Shaman Oracle for. Our question is, how do the renewal cycles of my life give opportunity for mystery, intimacy, transformation, and shadow work? Our card today is the drum. The rhythm of the drum tunes you to the beating of heart of the universe. Its wood frame links you to the trees and helps you journey to the lower world via the roots and the upper world through its branches. The drum skin gives the shaman the powers of the animal kingdom. Striking the drum calls forth the power of the thunder and the rumbling of the earthquake. The drum invites a trance state where healing and prophecy can happen. The drum invites you to take the next bold step on your journey. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. This is not a time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage, because it is going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. Sagittarius is next. We have a yogic path oracle for this. Our question will be, how does my belief system generate meaning and encourage expansion beyond my comfort zone? We have Parvati for our card, the goddess of devotion, love, and yoga. You pull upon Parvati when you've taken immense action toward becoming your highest self. In Hindu mythology, Parvati was in love with the unattainable Shiva, who was deep in the mountains practicing yoga and detached from the material world. She knew he needed the feminine to bring him down to earth, but he was totally inaccessible. Instead of begging and pleading, Parvati decided to become her highest self and seek enlightenment through yoga. Her family objected, saying women cannot become yogis, but she headed to the mountains anyway, where she stood in a frigid stream balancing on one leg for uncountable months or years. Eventually, Shiva felt her immense energy and fell in love with her because of her strength and determination. Parvati represents commitment to practice, unbreakable willpower, and the power of self-transformation. Continue your journey toward enlightenment. Capricorn is next. We are using the Heart Path Oracle cards. And our question will be, how can I achieve my realistic yet challenging goals step by step? We got the card Telepathic Communication, Ancient Knowledge. This piece is about speaking your truth to the world. The white hummingbirds want you to pull from the ancient knowledge that lies deep inside to find love, joy, and strength. In ancient Egypt, the ibis was so sacred and revered that it represented the god Thoth. One hummingbird is just about to touch him. Thoth had appeared to you today as an amazingly graceful and powerful entity. Though he had many powers, one of his main functions in Egypt mythology and culture was that of the scribe. The scribe wrote down what was important for future generations. Thoth wants you to listen to your quiet thoughts that come from inside your mind's eye, inspiring you to hear beautiful music, watch a movie you thought would never be interesting, and or pick up a book that you never noticed before. He is stressing creativity and communication through writing. Try keeping a diary, journal, or just hand write cards to friends and loved ones. Don't underestimate your abilities, and never listen to any voice in your head that is not loving and positive. It is a false voice and needs to be ignored. You are a brilliant, resourceful being who needs to bring your message out to the world. Your bees want you to know that your hard work will pay off. Believe in miracles. They happen every day. Like the saguaro cactus flower, you will be here a long time. Spread the language of the three angels. Love. I am always in contact with inspirational thoughts of divine love. Our next card will be representing Aquarius. It will be from the Sacred Geometry deck. And let's get a question for it. How can my unique hopes and wishes be supported by others and heal the collective? Today we have Steam Cave, Elemental Forces. This card speaks of connecting with elemental forces. The geometry here is of triangles and star tetrahedrons. The illustration was inspired by a hot spring steam cave in which the bather sits in medicinal waters inside the earth and listens to the pulse of the planet as the springs ebb and flow and gurgle. There is a womb-like feeling within the cave in the earth where the fire heats water into steam. You know how this feels deep in your bones, though you may never have experienced it. Coming from a primal place in our cellular memory, this feeling holds the power of the elements and speaks directly to the relationship all humans have with those elements and with Mother Earth. Many traditions call on the elements as they begin sacred ceremony. In doing so, a deeper connection is established between the material world and the spirit world. This card reminds you to honor your relationship to the earth and elemental forces, and to ground yourself in the knowing that wherever you go, you are always home. Try constructing an elemental altar or placing a photograph or art representing the elements somewhere where you can see them regularly. Find a way to honor the earth and her elemental forces in whatever way feels appropriate to you. And now we have arrived at our last card, which will be the Pisces position. We have the White Light Oracle for this, and we will be asking, how can I end the bondage of self-sabotage, invoking karma and repressions, to become the bliss of self-transcendence instead? We drew Archon Barbello. This figure is an angel, goddess, divine mother, in sacred space. She is mysterious and powerful. She is the inviolable purity and truth of your being, the spiritual essence within you that is eternal and cannot be tainted or distorted. Her presence in a reading is a sign that any errors in judgment shall be corrected and any losses shall be restored. If you have been off your path or become disconnected from your real self, she is the innate understanding and power within your heart that pulls you back into authentic connection and true direction. She teaches the soul the mystery of how we can be in a male or female body and yet have characteristics of both the masculine and feminine within us. She also helps us understand how our androgynous spiritual essence can embrace masculine and feminine energies to accomplish its higher purpose. This spiritual essence is beyond gender and is not altered by it in any way. The value of the body of gender and biology as ways for the soul to experience and express itself is complemented by the freedom that comes with understanding the spiritual part of you is entirely free from constructs of any kind. You can retreat to this sacred, pure, untouched place within when you need to replenish your reserves of wisdom and willpower for your life journey. Connecting with this part of you can remind you that while your life journey and your experiences are important and help you to grow, they do not determine who and what you are. You exist in the realm of Archon Barbalo, the pure light of divine presence. Your spirit is always nestled beneath her radiant wings. Yet to shine that light in the world where it is most needed requires you to have a soul journey as a human being in a physical body with biology and gender. If you have any concerns about this or wish to bring healing to those who have such concerns, this oracle brings encouragement. Ask for help and healing from the divine spirit, that all souls find truth in their journey, blessed with mercy, wisdom, grace, and compassion. That concludes the Radiant Astro reading for today, March 24th. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. Please join me in the next reading. Welcome to the last spread for today, for March 24th. This is the Sacred Directions reading. It's a 5-card spread. We use a different deck for each position, and we will start with the center card representing the will. We have drawn the Convention card for this. Venus in the common sense sign of Capricorn describes someone who needs a romantic partner to share and help them achieve ambitions. Disliking public displays of emotion, this planet sign or sign type is fairly conservative in behavior. Although this sounds dull, the Capricornian zany sense of humor prevails, keeping any relationship lively and entertaining. Often the Venus and Capricorn card indicates a fair age difference in a major relationship. People with this aspect are loyal and steadfast, but financial security is very important to their emotional happiness. Love on an overdraft is not conducive to a Capricorn's well-being, and relationships can suffer if the partner is recklessly extravagant or foolish with money. There is always, with this sign, a strong social and artistic ambition. Venus Capricornians like to know and be known by the talented and successful. Their involvement in the arts world could be based on their own talents or be concerned with exploiting the creative abilities of others. The Venus or Capricorn love of artistic things usually leans toward a more conventional, expressing itself in classical music and traditional arts. The Venus Capricorn type has good feelings for business dealings with the opposite sex, and harmony in this area is important to their life ambitions. When this card is chosen, it often indicates a romantic liaison with someone much older or younger. Events this card can represent are a marriage or affair with a great age difference, a relationship with a famous or important person, a new friend of some influence. Our next card will be from a Dragon Oracle deck, and it's going to be in the position of the East, representing the spiritual or fire. The question that we will be asking is, how can I guide the present moment of my life towards being emboldened with the highest spiritual truths? We have the orange golden dragon from Arcturus. Opens you to knowledge for the new golden age. Carry the energy of the future. Be a guiding light. Arcturus is one of the most advanced star systems in this galaxy and a prototype of Earth's future. Awesome seventh dimensional orange gold dragons from Arcturus come to us when we are ready to become a walking master and help to usher in the new golden age. When a spiritual army of these dragons moves to a place, they stimulate great evolutionary change in all that they touch. They are flowing into Earth now to help us during the exciting years ahead. It is not by chance that you have incarnated during this extraordinary 20-year period when our planet is undergoing a double-dimensional shift. Earth needs spiritual leaders and light bearers. These dragons are blazing their light towards you, for it holds the vision of our fifth-dimensional future. They are inspiring you to do your part for the new golden age on Earth. Receiving this card indicates that it is time to stand in your power and fulfill your destiny. Allow the orange gold dragons from Arcturus to enter your energy fields and breathe into you the vision of Earth as it will be. They will give you the strength, wisdom, and knowledge that you will need for the transformation ahead. You have much to do and many people to help, and a beautiful seventh dimensional orange gold dragon from Arcturus will stay by your side as long as you need it. Be a guiding beacon to light the way for many. The next card that we have is for the South. It will be representing our emotions and water. The question we're asking is, how can I give of myself through respectful expression of feelings to secure trust? We're using a Hawaiian-themed oracle deck, and we have drawn bones, which stands for respect. The essence of Iwi is respect. The expression Hana no Aika ko iwi means to take care of your own interests. It can also be interpreted to mean mind your own business. a related expression, kawaluai na iwi ai kala, refers to the bleaching the bones in the sun, which has been interpreted to mean mental exposure, or talking unnecessarily of other people, or talking too freely about faults and weaknesses of one's family to outsiders. It is important not to speak negatively of others, treat others with respect, walk an honorable path, and respect yourself. It also may be necessary to teach others how to treat you by explicitly telling them what it is that you require. Respect is required on many levels. Respecting the privacy, the perspective, and the space of others, and demanding it for oneself are essential. When iwi is uncovered, respect may be missing in any one of these areas. So be sure to act in a way that allows respect to be communicated or restored. The next position will be the East, and it is, the West, and it is about the physical or earth. The question is, how can I persevere through challenges to manifest my vision based on meaning? And from a Dreamtime Reading Oracle deck, we have drawn the card Butterfly, representing beauty. Butterflies come in a variety of sizes and a rainbow of endless colors. They are often seen as representing transformation. A butterfly begins its life as an egg, which hatches into a caterpillar. The caterpillar eventually becomes a cocoon, and finally, after spending time as a chrysalis, it emerges so different and almost unrecognizable from the caterpillar it was before its wings were formed. It is for this reason that the butterfly card also represents the beauty and freedom that can occur when you trust in the process of change. As reward for the time it's spent in the darkness of the cocoon, the butterfly emerges with wings and the gifts of beauty, flight, and freedom. The butterfly inspires you to trust that there is beauty to be found in times of great change. If you have been struggling, understand that part of the process of transformation is to be tested. The butterfly offers hope and reminds you that it must endure the darkness of the chrysalis in order to find its true purpose, fun and innocence. The butterfly promises a special time of intimacy and joy. The butterfly's appearance gives you a reason to smile. If you see a pair of butterflies dancing together, this can often indicate a new friendship or a new love is on the way. And the final card in the North position, representing the intellect or air, is the Serpent card. Our question for it is, how can I detach from negative states of thinking so that my story makes my dreams come true? The key words for this card are unification, integration, synthesis. To the Mexica, the serpent symbolized the unity of existence. Since the serpent can go anywhere, nothing is hidden from him. He is equally as comfortable exploring caves as he is climbing among the branches of a tree. The serpent has been here since the beginning and is revered in most, if not all, ancient cultures. In ancient Egypt, serpent was one of the two primordial forces upon which the universe was built. In India, the serpent deity Kundalini is the goddess of the activating fire. In Africa, the snake symbolizes the power of the underworld. In a broader, more mythic sense, the Aztec serpent was the mountain, out of whose mouth the lava flowed. He was the foundation out of which the temple was built. When serpent carried with him the power of death, he was seen throughout the Aztec universe as an integral part of creation and destruction. One of the geological mysteries, not only of the Aztec civilization, but of the ones preceding it, concerns the use of a very high-quality blue-green jade and creating statuary and animal fetishes. Jade was a favorite of Mesoamerican cultures dating back to the Olmecs. It was called serpent's heart because the way it is layered in a serpentine fashion. Inside the strata of the earth, the mystery is that geologists can't find a vein of that type of jade in central Mexico. They just recently discovered mammoth amounts of it in Guatemala. How the jade traveled in sufficient quantities from Guatemala in the south to the central and northern regions of Mexico is still unknown. If serpent has made an appearance in your cards today, there is a message of integration and synthesis for you. Integration and synthesis are parts of the process of weaving together disparate parts of your life into a beautiful, colorful tapestry. Integration is also the key to a superior alternative approach to problem solving that avoids taking either or, take it or leave it positions. The trick to solving a dilemma in which hard line stands have been taken is to realize that underlying every idea or position there are almost always core values that both parties can agree on. When you can reveal what those non-conflicting core values are, resolution is reached through development and evolution of shared ideas, rather than forcing choice or compromise, which often leads to a loss of energy, humiliation, and resentment. Thank you so much for being with me today and listening to this reading. It is my great joy to do these for you and to try to help lift us all up in the process. I hope that you'll join me again. Always happy to be here for you. Be there for yourself and for those that you love. Thank you so much.